that time, the Straight Talk Podcast with Fella and Rev. How you doing today, Rev Rowe?
I'm feeling good, man. This week flew by. Tomorrow is Friday.
It's Friday. It's
Ready
already
for my little weekend. You feel me?
for real. Friday Junior. You know
How you
what I'm
feeling,
saying? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm just trying to get some money, man. I'm tired of being broke. For real. It's a struggle. Being broke is fun at times, but it's a struggle.
What's fun about being
Like, you
broke?
know, J. Cole said it's beauty in the struggle. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? There's beauty in it, you know,
it's a whole lot of ugly.
because more money, more problems.
Shoot, I don't know.
But I want some of them problems.
I need them
I take
problems.
them problems, you know what I'm
Shoot.
saying? But
Give me
other
the
than
lunch
that,
lady
man,
double scoop on the tray, man. I need the problem.
Other than that,
now.
man, I'm blessed, man. So you can't complain too
Yes, sir.
much. I got all my limbs.
Uncle Fella over here.
Got
man.
my family, yeah. Got my little nephew now. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So I'm blessed.
Looks like Tim Ham.
But I would love to be blessed with, you know, little five
Little
figures,
shut
six
up.
figures. You know, and I that's a blessing too.
I'm trying to see what that is like.
Yeah.
Never had that happen to me.
But anyway, man, you know how we always start the show with question of the day. Of course, that's a segment of the podcast where I ask the fella to the left of me a question and give him a grade based on his answer. Okay, so this one I feel like was a really like just kind of all of a sudden hot topic this past week.
Yes, sir.
It started with Steph Curry. Well, it kind of started before that, but Steph Curry made a headline saying that he felt like he's the MVP of the league. And then Jokic said, no, I'm the MVP of the league. And then Embiid said, nah, I've been dominating the whole season. I'm the MVP of the league. So my question to you today is, who's the MVP? Because I think we at the point of the season where it's like, okay, there's only so much sway you can do at this point of the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
So who is your MVP for the 2020-2021 season?
Well, I hate to go back on my picks, man, but I gotta say Jokic, dude.
Ooh,
I gotta say Jokic.
I thought you was gonna hold tight.
Here's why I'll say that, right? First, from perspective, Embiid missed a good chunk of games. His team still did okay.
Yeah.
The 76ers are 39-20, the number one seed in the East, right?
How many games did he miss? You know?
It was a few weeks.
Yeah.
I can get an exact number, but for perspective, 39-20, Philadelphia 76ers, number one seed in the East. The Nuggets are 38-20, and they're the fourth seed. Nuggets are in a stacked conference, winning the same pace, and Nikola Jokic, he ain't missing them games. He's there every night, and
Yeah.
defends the pick and roll real
And
well.
now he lost Jamal Murray.
Right, so now he really about to be hooping.
But I think that might, even though I said like we're at the point of the season where it's like you got one. This last month of the season, I think will determine who.
I think that's gonna boost him because you just lost your number 2 guy. If y'all are still on pace to be a top 2-3 seed, even with losing Jamal Murray, you gotta go, man. It's bigger than just the team. Like, this guy is really that deal. So I think it would definitely shock me. Somehow Giannis is gonna get it. Let's just get that out the way. Giannis is gonna get the MVP.
For real.
But no, it would definitely shock me if Nikola Jokic doesn't get it this year. I would obviously be satisfied with Embiid. You know, that's been my pick. I still, in a lot of ways, feel like that's a viable option. But just looking at it side to side, team to team, how valuable are you really if you can miss 2 or 3 weeks and we still locked up the number one seed? I don't know if you took Joker out of the equation in Denver, I don't know if they still would have kept the same pace that Philly was able to keep.
Okay. Yeah.
It's hard to argue with Joker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely because
Solid, consistent. We have almost the same exact record, and we're 4th in the tougher conference.
So part 2 of the question: what is somebody? Because Steph Curry again started the kind of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
What does he have to do to, in your eyes, say to where you feel like he would get the MVP? Him and Dame, who for a while was number 2 on the little MVP ladder. list. He kind of dropped down recently. He got hurt. He missed a couple games.
Yeah.
But what do they have to do like to give you a convincing argument to say, no, it's really like a 4-person race between the 4 of them?
So there's only about 14 games left.
Mm-hmm.
Give or take a couple less or a couple more depending on the team. I think they both got to go crazy this last 14 games. To me, Steph can have one of those years where, like, your team can be absolute trash, but if you're just dominating and going on historic runs,
Which he's been doing.
You look at how Russ won that MVP.
Game. Yeah.
Russ had an amazing individual season.
That was an 8th seed, right?
They snuck that 8th seed in, and they weren't that great. Like, the rest of his team wasn't so great, right? Similar situation with Steph, and he's been going crazy. Except for last night, the Wizards caught a little dub on him. He threw a little choker. But he had been going crazy. He was probably fatigued,
He was due.
quite honestly. It was about time. So for Steph to get it, if he even keeps up 7 or 8 more out of the last 14 and does stuff that he's been doing, I think he can get up there in voting. Him actually winning it, I feel like it's probably a long shot. Also being a 2-time MVP and your team is bad and we're so much used to stuff from you, I feel like you don't get that benefit. Whereas Russ, like, you're carrying this team, a team we didn't think was even going to be in the playoffs, and you did something historic. So it gave him a little extra boost. You know what I'm saying? I don't see Steph getting that. I really don't see Dame getting it unless they go 12-2 in the last 14.
You think they need to? That's what I was going to say. They got to climb up the playoff.
They got to clutch up and jump.
Yeah.
Like they got to win at least 10 of these last 14 and make a real jump, and he has to really be out there hooping.
Yeah.
For anybody to say
he could really be doing what he's already doing, but they just got to win.
They got to win.
Yeah.
If you're not getting wins, like I said, unless it's a specific case, like you're doing historic things. Usually, if you're not winning, who gives us? You know what I'm saying? Like,
God damn. I just seen OKC Thunder. They lost 12 straight games. Jesus Christ.
They tanking.
They're horrible. But yeah.
We got draft picks for the next 8
years.
And
the sad part is they lost 12 straight games, and they still better than the Rockets and the Timberwolves.
Yes. They're losing on purpose. They're literally competing until the fourth quarter, and then they pull back.
Weak.
Like, it's the most blatant taking I've ever seen. But anyway.
Yeah, man. That's some good insight, man. I appreciate you. Get an A+ today. 100%. 100%, man. That was
Thank
good.
You.
That was informational.
Thank you.
You gave a solid opinion. It wasn't no bullshit.
Thank you.
So
I'll leave that for you, my brother. But I appreciate it.
No, you be coming with the BS. You be coming with it. Man, it ain't just me. You know what I'm saying?
All right now.
But moving on to the W.
The W. Okay.
We got the overview. So we held out last week because it had the WNBA draft. We talked about the draft picks last week, but this week we got the Indiana Fever overview, and they had the 4th pick of the draft.
And it's 18 games, by the way. Embiid. It was 18 games.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. The Indiana Fever had the 4th pick of the draft, where they got Kiersey Gondrezick. Got that on the first try.
Because I showed you that. I read it and it makes sense, and when I try to say it, I fumble the bag.
They also had the 11th pick of the draft. That's also the first round. Leah Wilson out of Texas A&M. They had 6 draft picks total. Those were obviously the 2 notable first round picks. The other one we talked about last week was Chelsea Perry, HBCU, UT Martin. So we shouted her out for sure. And also they got Unique Thompson, who went to, I just seen it, Auburn, yep.
Yeah.
And we mentioned, I believe we mentioned Unique Thompson last week as well. So they got some solid picks. The fact that we weren't even really focused on Indiana Fever, but we picked out
the
3 or 4 of their players that they picked. So they definitely got solid picks. They're going to be building upon that, what they had last season, with the Mitchell sisters, Tiffany and Kelsey Mitchell. I'm trying to see how many wins they had last year. I forgot to look at that. Do you have that information? How many wins? Indiana Fever. They record. I mean, they got the 4th pick, so they didn't have a great season. And honestly, I don't think they're gonna have that great of a season this year.
I mean, they're still.
They need a year or two.
And then when half of your team, let me see, last year they were, that's right here, they were 6-16.
Yeah, they only won 6 games last year.
So it's still a building project.
And none of the players on the team, like the Mitchell sisters, their numbers aren't jumping off the page for me.
Yeah.
I mean, Kelsey average 18, but she don't get no boards and she don't get no assists. She just a bucket.
She just out there shooting.
She out there shooting, yeah. So I mean, she got a 45-40 split, which is good. Like, she's a bucket. I think they just need a guard.
Yeah.
And they got and they also have Tierra McCowan, who's a big. And
getting 10 and 7 out there.
She went. She was from Texas A&M or Texas A&M. Yeah. No, Mississippi State. My bad. Mississippi State. She was a high value draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, so she's still young. They got some youth on this team, but it looks like to me like the best player is a bucket, and then the next after 18 points per game, Tiffany Mitchell was only able to give you 13.
Most of the people on this team are our age or younger. It's a whole lot of 95s and below. I mean, 95.
That's the thing about the entire league, though. Like the entire league is super young.
Just imagine how much younger
we were just talking about the
wings.
wings.
Eliminated those.
Right.
Stupid policies and rules. But yeah, it's a lot of young talent.
Look how many rookies they got.
It's 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is I think this rookies. Is the training the summer training staff.
They only got 2 players, 3 players that were born in the 80s. Everybody else is 94 and up. That's crazy.
That's a young team. So
they're a young team.
That's what it is. They got a really young team.
They got to build.
They got to build. I think they need a guard, and I believe Gondrazik Kiersey is a guard. Let's see. Yeah, she's a guard out of what school she go to?
She went to West Virginia.
West Virginia. She's a little point guard out of West Virginia. So that's obviously what they're looking for out of her. And then you get Aaliyah Wilson from Texas A&M. They got her in exchange for a draft pick, a couple draft picks. So I think that's what it is. So like I said, even with looking at this team, it doesn't. None of the names really jump off the board except Tierra McCowan.
Don't forget,
Tierra McCowan jumps off the board. I think she's gonna be good. She just the bigs always take a little longer to
develop. One of the few old heads that they do have though, Jantel Lavender, they got her via trade last year from Chicago.
Jantel Lavender, and they also got she was hooping in the playoffs. Was it the playoffs? It was who was it? Or maybe they got rid of her. They might get rid of her.
Well, Jantel, she's a former champion, first of all, an all-star, and a former 6th Woman of the Year. She just didn't play for them last year while dealing with a foot injury.
Oh, okay.
But that foot is at 100% now.
Jantel Lavender.
Might be a little sleeper for them. Like it's still a young team. They still got to develop. Because in my mind, honestly, like 23 to like 26 isn't really young for basketball years. But considering how long it takes them to be able to get in the league, they're still young. Because you're 25 with only 2-3 years experience in the league.
Yeah.
So they're still going, it's a learning curve, a hump, getting these players, where they will be closer to their primes. But having somebody like Lavender coming in, she's healthy now. She's got that championship pedigree. She's got that experience. She can offer a lot to this team, and she's one of the few vets they have. So I think that's going to be good for them. It's still a project year for them.
You need those vets.
Yeah, you need those vets, so that could be a big deal for them.
The other thing I was going to point out to you, I know that, you're talking about Tierra just because she's the added addition, but so is Unique Thompson, who came from Auburn. And she sticks out just because I watched her play live when I had to broadcast that game against Mizzou. That's a big girl. Like, she's tall. She's very strong. Like, what is she, like 6-something, 200 pounds? And she's a bucket. Like, she pretty much got most of their points, and that was on senior night beating Mizzou in their arena. Not that was too difficult to do. But anyways. Yeah.
Chill out.
So I don't think, that, Tierra's not by herself.
Right. No,
I think she's by herself.
And that's another rookie.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Tierra's only in her second year. It's her second year.
Yeah, no. I'm saying Unique. This is her rookie.
No,
yeah, okay. So I think that they'll be cool. They just got to probably figure out this chemistry. It's a lot of young people.
It's a lot of young people because like I said, they got like 2 or 3 vets. One of those other vets they brought in this offseason, Jessica Breland. She's been in the league 9 years. 6'2", averages basically 8 and 7, 7 and 7. It's not necessarily a huge scoring boost, but one of the things we talked about looking at their roster, there's a lack of boards. So you can definitely use her there. And again, another vet presence. I think when you, as a GM, as a coach, you're looking at our team, they're very young.
For
right?
sure.
So there's potential there. There's a lot. But what does every young team need? They need an OG.
You definitely do.
They need somebody that's been here, they've been in these moments, or just somebody like that can be there to help you through the navigation of like this is a whole new ballpark. You know what I'm saying? The grind of the league, the wear and tear, the travel, whatever. Like you got somebody that's used to this, or these big moments they've been in them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When you talk about Lavender, that's a former champion. I've been in these moments. I know how this goes. I've been a 6-man, or a 6-woman. So
they're the Cavs.
Right, basically the Cavs.
I think this season they're gonna struggle.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's again. I don't see any names jumping off.
Not
the
very
board.
high hopes, but
They could be in that potential in that
the names
Paige
are
Buckner.
jumping out. The names as a roster together are not jumping out.
Yeah.
But
individually, you're like, man, as a collective,
because you know what these other teams look like.
Mm-hmm.
We already talked
That's
about
the
Dallas.
thing. So
You
know about it. You know what I'm
like.
saying? I don't have time for this.
Chicago
Brianna
just got
Stewart over
somebody
there in
else
Europe
too,
talking
low-key.
about I won Euro Women's MVP too. Like that, I don't have time for this.
Bro, you went fresh from Finals MVP and a WNBA championship to EuroLeague MVP, and then a Euro Cup. Like, dang, she is out here.
Yeah.
You don't want to sit down?
That's who we got. You ain't want to.
They don't have a name like that.
You ain't want to rest. You ain't want to be with your family. You know what I'm saying?
They got
a brother, boyfriend,
Don't your
daddy,
ankle hurt?
somebody to go hang out with.
You ain't doing
want no
nothing.
massage?
You just straight hooping, just straight through, just hooping, and not just hooping, but dominating.
Winning.
You couldn't just play a couple minutes here to stay fresh. Nah, I gotta win. I respect it though.
Yeah,
I respect it.
So we I think we know what we got with this team. Be on the lookout for them having another top pick.
Yeah.
Next season, and hopefully, but I would like to see Macau and Tierra develop a little more. I would love to see Unique Thompson get some clock.
Yeah.
I would love to see how Gondrazik is, if she's gonna be able to stay on the team in the long run, and make a name for herself. So she's got a name. She's got a cool name. So she's got that in her favor.
Man, moving on to another topic, man. We talked about jerseys a couple weeks ago, and some of those jerseys straight fire.
Yeah.
Although with every time
Speaking of Indiana,
you drop some,
that's Stranger Things. That's
Yeah.
I would have
NBA
never
FIFA
thought
jersey
that.
goes
That's
so.
dope.
There goes.
I
They
might
got
buy
that-
one.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
Low key, I'll be looking at the jersey like, hold on, I might need
I
one of
could
those.
do that. I could do
That's all I gotta
that.
do is say that one time. But every time you got some hits, inevitably you got some misses, right? I wish I could get this big stupid video out of my way because every time I scroll down, it gets in the front. But anywho, the Dallas Wings had a jersey. We do not have the picture to throw up, but it's army green, a little star on the front.
It reminds you of
If the TV were
Yeah,
for
well,
real.
we're obviously having technical difficulties. You're used to seeing a beautiful graphic, but it's beauty in the struggle.
Exactly.
So the Rebel Edition jerseys were inspired by the P-40 Warhawk plane used during World War II. The jersey designs featured the Warhawk signature star set over a military green field.
If you think about it like a jetter, a fighter, in a World War, and just throw a star on it, that's kind of what the jerseys look like. An army green with a star, red, white, and blue star on the front. And it's funny because we, like you said, we talked about jerseys 2 weeks ago when they announced all of them. We had,
Yeah, we
I don't know
hadn't
if we
seen
threw a
this one,
graphic up. It was on there,
Was
but that's the thing. We didn't even mention it because it was like,
Right.
We was talking about all the jerseys that we liked, and we skimmed over that one because it was kind of, for me, it don't really got nothing to do with Dallas.
It has nothing to do with
or
Dallas.
the
It's
wings.
very- it's
I
very-
thought it was weird. I mean, wings.
No, it has something to do with it
'Cause
because
yeah.
it's Air Force. So you think wings or pilot wings.
Right.
It literally was meant to honor WASP, Women's Air
Let's-
Force Service Pilots.
Let's get
But
into what the problem is.
it's worse. Like, than what was that? The Pelicans, was it them that had the floor the lid thing with?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's worse than
the
that.
red. And the,
It's
Yeah.
worse than that.
Well,
Those
here's
kind of
the-
grew on me in person, but yeah.
After watching them playing them, I was like, they're not as horrible,
not
but
as
they're
bad.
still very simple. They look like that's what they look like. But no, here's what the problem is. Like Darian mentioned, they were to honor the WASPs. There's more than 1,000 women who served in that program. To break that down for you, that's the Women Air Force Service Pilot Corps. But Corps, yeah. I was thinking corps because they dead wrong for this jersey. The problem with that program, though, when you think about NBA, WNBA, who makes up the majority of the players?
Black women.
Okay. So the problem with a jersey dedicated to honoring the WASPs, not nary a black woman was in the WASPs.
Think about World War II.
So-
There wasn't that many women in World War II, period.
You know what I'm saying? They
And
excluded
they
black
damn sure
women.
wasn't white. Or
They-
black, I mean.
They excluded black women. And you know, it's kind of hard. We gonna honor this group that it was a powerful woman thing, but if we're all about diversity, our league is very diverse. We can't really honor a group that didn't accept diversity.
Right.
And granted, like, that's a timepiece type of thing, so I guess you can't really go back and fault them for it, but you don't have to like do anything commemorating that, knowing that. Just because they didn't know better or choose to do better doesn't mean you have to say, well, we still gonna wear them.
Mm-hmm.
So I do respect that move to just say, that ain't really cool. They wasn't rocking with black women. Our league is made up of black women. It's black women on our team. This is how we feel about it. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
So they pulled the jersey.
And you can always go back and make some moves.
You know
And
what I'm saying?
they gonna be fired.
It's okay if they don't want to. Like, Nike, if y'all are offended by this, don't worry about it. I will call Vicky. I will make the new jersey. I'll send you my price list. Let you know how much I charge for this design.
So anyway, they're not going to wear them on court, and they will be removed from any retail distributors, and they're going to work together on figuring out something else, a different type of design that's obviously more inclusive, perhaps less offensive if you do want to consider this one offensive. So I just thought it was interesting to point out based on we were just talking about jerseys.
Yeah.
But that's really it for the W. So move on into the league. We're going to talk about Big Brian. He, trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers when you're sitting out with your ankle messed up. Talk about that tweet, man.
Yeah, so obviously we had the unfortunate situation with Ma'Khia Bryant being killed by a cop. Really a tragic situation. Shout out to all the athletes who did speak on it. Again, we got to go through this once again.
Mm-hmm.
They on a kind of sidebar. They on a hunting season. These cops really wilding this year. I feel like
it's been back to back to back. Like the
That
last 2-3 weeks,
plus
it's just been
that plus the mass shootings. It's just like this summer.
yeah.
We kept everybody in last year. They're like, all right,
They
bet.
making up for lost time.
We finna
That's
be
what it feels
outside
like.
with it this year. So
That's
that's
what
what
it
it
feel like.
That's what it feel like. And we getting everything is coming so quickly. You just had Dante Wright. Now you got Ma'Khia Bryant. It's just like back to back to back to back. You got all these mass shootings. But anyway, so LeBron tweeted kind of pretty early on in the situation. He tweeted, "You're next, #accountability," and put a picture of the cop who shot Ma'Khia Bryant. So, it's kind of a lot of people took it as a threat, like, you're next, kind of, and then they also made the fact that he did it really pretty early after finding out about the situation. So he didn't have all the information of the situation.
I think it was
So he got a lot
Ted
of flack
Cruz.
for it. What do you say?
I think it was Ted Cruz mainly. He was the biggest mouthpiece
Oh, did he?
to
Yeah.
bash him and
Of course.
you're irresponsible, you're blah blah blah.
Yeah, but it was
Call
also
somebody irresponsible.
right. It was also
Once you were on your way,
Cancun.
I thought somebody that packed the bag.
1,
said-
2, 3, Cancun.
But then you got bullied into taking your ass home because you.
That's but
But
LeBron,
your Texas ain't had no
LeBron
relief.
sending a tweet is irresponsible.
But the people in
Alright.
Texas
I
are sitting
didn't know
without
Ted
water.
Cruz-
And, oh, okay, Ted. Shut the. Hey,
Right.
listen. Let's get back into it.
But so yeah, he got a lot of flack, and some of it is slightly warranted because yeah, he didn't have all the information.
Mhm.
It's kind of irresponsible to have that, you know, the amount, you know, it's LeBron, so he's got
Yeah.
a lot of people going.
Yeah.
It's kind of irresponsible to post a picture of the cop. And it is, you can kind of take it as a threat. Even though he wasn't really threatening him, he was just kind of pointing
It's
out the
obviously
fact
not
that
a threat, but you can see how people are gonna paint it that way.
Derek Chauvin just happened. He was just saying, you're next, like, we finna
I
convict you
don't
just
see
like
how
Derek
you
Chauvin.
can turn that around when it was hashtag
In the minds of
accountability.
fragile-
And,
in the
yeah,
minds
it's-
of a
you
fragile
can't
white
turn
person
that
that might
around,
ego.
but you're gonna, just because I don't like you, I'm gonna turn it around. I'm gonna make you.
People
I'm
already
gonna
hate
say
that
I'm
LeBron has stuff
offended.
to say.
And which is actually what he said. Like, he's tired of black people passing away through the, you know, cop killings, and he was like, the reason I took it down is because you're just turning it into more
Exactly.
hate. So whatever.
Exactly. So,
Literally, word for word, I'm so damn tired of seeing black people killed by police. I took the tweet down because it's being used to create more hate. This isn't about one officer, it's about the entire system, and they always use our words to create more racism. I am so desperate for more accountability.
So yeah, he handled the situation pretty much as expected from LeBron. Like, LeBron
He's
off
a hell
the
of a
court
diplomat.
is
Honestly,
like
he handles himself
a
very
hell of
well.
a human being.
Yeah,
like
he
you
handles
gotta
himself
you
really
gotta
well.
love and respect LeBron and what he does
Mhm.
for this country, for real, because he's
Mhm.
always upfront about these. He does get the information. He teaches himself. He reads the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Even though he ain't got past that first chapter.
He's still
I
on
done
the
seen
first
him in that Lakers jersey and that Cavs jersey, first 20 pages.
chapter.
Boy, you ain't never gonna hold to the middle of the book so we at least think you reading it.
Right.
Like, stop doing that, Brian. I believe you.
But,
I believe you
I
probably
just-
read them.
I just
Stop
play
capping
it.
for the cameras. Okay?
But yeah,
Keep
so
me on page 7.
so he handled the situation, but it was notable.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, I think that, you know, people, everyday Twitter could have responded to that, and I still don't think it would have been to the same extent as soon as Ted Cruz said something. I mean, and then, of course, guys, he was on Fox News saying this. And I don't want to misquote him, but I'm pretty sure he said a lot of these sports organizations are now woke corporations or something like that. Like, he feels like that they don't have their priority list together. Something to the effect.
You know what's a funny LeBron James quote? It's very fitting. At the end of the day, it's just Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
That's a direct LeBron James quote, and that's all I have for that subject.
For real.
Let it go. It's not that deep.
Yeah.
You always want to be fake mad. It's the fake outrage for me. Shut the hell up. You're really not that upset. But kudos to him for just being the bigger man, saying, you know what, I know y'all be on BS, so I'm going to take it down, but this is what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
With that, we're going to throw it to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, y'all. I ain't gonna tell them that.
Yeah. That's a
You know
fact,
it's
though.
true.
But yeah,
You know it's true.
shout out to my cousin Daryl with the Taylor Gents, man. Seriously, if you got a wedding coming up, your homeboy got a wedding coming up, your girlfriend got a wedding coming up, any of that stuff.
Never mind. Okay.
We're talking to women too.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Or maybe I should say your girlfriend, because it's okay. Anyway, man, reach out to my cousin Taylor Gents, man. He gets you right with these custom suits. Follow him on Instagram at Taylor Gents. You'll see he be laying it down like plickety black. He be laying it just flat. You walk out the room and you just clean like. You walk out of the room and somebody.
Shut up!
Look, you walk out the house and somebody wolf is woo woo. Instantly. Every time you walk. Every time you walk out the house, man. So please, if you're interested if you need something or you just want to be fly, just hit my cousin up. Taylor Gents, man. Follow him on Twitter. No, Follow him on Instagram, my bad. He's also got a Facebook page, Taylor Gents. You know.
Anyway, so I was with this little.
Instant. Every time you walk out the door. Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about some NBA returns, man.
Last week we talked about these injuries.
And now we talking about some bounce
We got
backs.
some more injuries this week.
We just not gonna.
So I mean, injuries. We talked about it last week. It's just like they got these guys going through this schedule, and it's just like
The schedule really
hella
ain't it.
games. Like
I swear, I feel like teams is playing 3-4 nights a week. Like, are you really
4
playing?
days. I think they do play 4 days a week.
It feel like it,
They got to be. They got to be
feel like it.
playing 4 times a week.
but focusing on some returns. Anthony Davis, y'all. AD
He's
on
back.
the way.
He's back. He probably playing right now.
AD on the
for real.
way. Yeah, he should be playing right now. If not now, it should be pretty soon. Anthony Davis is finally back, which to me, I'm interested to watch a game just to see how him and Drummond fit together.
I forgot about Drummond.
You know, 'cause he hurt his little toe, but he came right back. But
I think she might be like because you said a little toe.
no, I think she got in headphones. She just a weird. Excuse the studio audience, y'all. They be on some weird BS, and it just be making us. It distracts us, as you can tell. But AD is back, and LeBron shouldn't be that. LeBron shouldn't be that much further behind him. So if you're the Lakers, you are thanking the basketball gods that Anthony Davis is back because y'all are struggling bad right now.
So what do you think? I brought this topic up because actually he has the same injury in this completely different circumstances. But somebody brought this to my attention. He has the same injury as KD in
Golden State.
playoffs when he was with Golden State. He had he pulled quad.
Yeah.
Pulled quad. What are your thoughts on that? It wasn't a pull. It was a strained quad. Strained quad.
My
So
thoughts
are you concerned about that? Because what he was saying, he was like, AD's not playing. He's not gonna play for the rest of the year. I'm like, what? He's supposed to be back. He's like, he got that same injury as KD. So are you concerned? Is there any concern about him coming back? Do you have any issues with him coming back? You feel like it could be? It's definitely not as rushed as
It was a
KD.
calf.
Yeah, strained
Yeah,
calf.
calf.
It was the same injury. Strained calf.
Yeah.
Not quad. You right.
I don't
It's
know.
the same
Quad is
injury.
kinda-
Yeah. Yeah. Strained quad. Same injury. You have any concerns? Are you skeptical about
I
him
would
coming
say-
back? It's obviously not rushed like KD was, but it's the same injury. It could be jeopardizing that Achilles.
What year was that? 2018?
2019.
2019. Because I don't feel like KD sat out that long at all.
There was a month between the first series and the conference. No, that was the NBA Finals. There's a month between that.
Yeah.
There's at least a month.
He,
Oh, no. No, that was the second series. So it's round 2 in the NBA Finals.
round 2 through. Yeah, so they tried to rush
That was
him
a
back
couple
way
weeks.
too
That
fast.
was a-
Whereas AD has
At
been
least a
out.
month.
AD ain't played since what? January?
Yeah.
Maybe December?
No, it was January. I think.
Yeah, so in this case, same injury, but like I feel like Golden State was like, "Hey man, look, I see what you're saying, but bro, we not trying to go out sad. Like, I need you to get out there and shoot, boy. You feel me? We can't lose." Whereas the Lakers was like, "Oh shit, no, you sit down right now.
Yeah.
We'll bring you back in 3 months. We are in no rush. We won a championship last year. We're not really pressed to prove anything this year. We can coast a little while you get healthy. Ain't no need to rush you back. We're not at a pivotal moment in the season like Golden State was. This is regular season.
Yeah.
LeBron is the king and don't give a damn about regular season. The Lakers, like I said, you coming fresh off a championship. You had a short offseason anyway. What are we trying to prove out here? Why are we going hard? Take your time.
So you have no concerns?
Take your time. I'm not as concerned as I was about KD. I knew that was about to end bad.
Yeah.
And I hate to even like say it like that, but I just knew when they were like, "Yeah, he gonna play." I was like, "Yeah, R.I.P. your Achilles," because there's no reason you should be playing right now. I mean, seriously, like there was no reason he should have been playing. So I kind of figured that's what would happen. It's unfortunate, but I think having 2 or 3 months of just not only conditioning, getting back right, but also to just sit back and chill, rehab it. I think he should be fine. And then, like I said, LeBron is expected to be right behind him a week or two later. So the
Yeah.
Lakers are going to be back in good.
And hopefully, he not doing that pregame dance like KD was on
Hey.
it.
That's probably where he almost tore it right there, doing all that.
Hopefully,
stupid
don't
stuff.
do that, AD.
Calisthenics
Hope
or whatever that was.
Right. Hope you don't be doing that
Yeah,
before the
don't do
game
that.
start. But not only AD is coming back, we also got.
Why are you making that face?
Woj just tweeted Terrence Clark, a Kentucky freshman guard that was headed for the NBA draft, died following a car accident in LA this afternoon.
That's who. Okay.
Yeah,
so Jaden said something about T. Clark, but I didn't know who he was
He's
referring
19.
to.
Yeah.
That's
He's going to
actually-
the draft. I did see that. And
That's
I forgot to
horrible.
bring it up.
That's horrible. Condolences out to that man's family. Wow, that's horrible.
Yeah, it's sad. It's always sad. And
So-
as soon as I seen it, I was like, man, damn. It was a car accident.
I didn't realize who he was. Man, I don't even want to. That's a tough bag of stuff to even really get into.
Rest in peace,
Um,
Terrence.
But also returning equally as important as Anthony Davis is LaMelo Ball. Sports Center, I know your eyes just got so big. House of Highlights, I know you probably. Hey, hey man, what they do, John?
They got excited.
They got
so
real-
excited.
So excited because all they do is post LaMelo Ball, which I'm not really mad at it. I mean, hey, it happens. It goes from LeBron Center to Zion Center to LaMelo Center, so it's cool. LaMelo, I feel like personally, LaMelo never was wanting to just sit out. Whereas I feel like the Hornets were like, no big deal, man. Season's almost over. Don't worry about it. And LaMelo like, boy, give me 3 weeks. I'll be straight.
But you know why he sat
And-
out.
But he was getting some. I would have said, hey, listen. So anyway, LaMelo took a little time off and got some good rehab.
It's like Chuck said. Malik Beasley had a good offseason.
LaMelo had him a nice little break. I'm sure he was well relaxed and relieved to enjoy that time off. Probably get a lot of things off his mind. Get his head in the right place.
Chuck's a little stupid.
Yeah. And also probably the fact that I've been dominating all the rookies this year, and I go out and y'all immediately move me to 7th on the rookie ladder. Like, excuse me, I can't still win or be top 2. I did all of this. So LaMelo saw that and said, so I took that personally. So he went and rehabbed that wrist.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't have to use his wrist no more because
Yeah, out the cast.
so he went and rehabbed the wrist, and then
Man, we're gonna move on to the next
hey,
topic,
but he's
dog.
back. He is on his
LaMelo,
way back.
He on his way back. I think he'll be back
I
next
love
week.
that for you, young man. Rumble, young man, rumble. The Knicks are on a run. 8. Melo!
We shouldn't be having this much fun with this topic. We
The
are
Knicks-
very immature.
Sound of damn.
Right.
The Knicks are on
Hey,
an
man.
8-game winning streak.
New
man.
York Knicks are back, and it's
Both
you
seed.
can officially say it, man. They are on an 8-game win streak. Julius
Longest streak in the
Randle
NBA right now.
is a problem.
MVP candidate?
Hell no. But he a problem. Maybe next year. He a problem.
Hey, he bringing the mecca of basketball back into the playoff picture on the high end.
The lower third is the Knicks are not.
The Knicks are knocking. The Knicks ain't the only one. Melo!
Melo!
Anyway, they on an 8-game winning streak, man. Julius Randle is going stupid. He had, 40, 11, and 6 last night? Something like that. I mean, he been balling.
It's
man.
amazing though because when he was coming out of college at Kentucky, I don't know if you remember this.
I remember.
I was super high on Julius
Mhm.
Randle,
It
so
just
it's
took
like
him a while.
it's good to see that he is what I thought he was.
Mhm. And I think it just took him a while because, first of all, he had to develop, he had to grow as a player, but then also, you were on a shit Lakers team.
He needed the right. He needed
And
the right
then you
surroundings.
get on the Pelicans, and, AD was still there, I think, when he was there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still somebody else's show. You're just kind of sidekick. New York is trash. They got 1 billion power forwards anyway. Might as well make yourself the best power forward, and then show what you really got to offer there.
And it also shows that the Knicks have maybe got it right in
Yeah.
the front office.
Maybe
finally.
maybe we were wrong, bro. We were talking a lot of shit about the Knicks having 7 power forwards and drafting remember when we said, yeah, Obi Toppin is nice, but why? Why do you need him?
But is he even has he made much?
I don't know what the hell he doing. I think Obi is. He went and did the dunk contest.
Well, the better draft pick in that was Emmanuel Quickly.
Very
He's
much
the best rookie on the team.
Moral of the story is they figured it out. We were wrong. They're not as bad as we thought.
We'll see. But they got
fourth seed.
No. I'm talking about the front office wise. You don't know they could always crumble.
No, they might get.
They got Royal Wild West.
They gonna get DeRozan this summer and Kyle Lowry.
I still don't think they're gonna do all that. And I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, I'm glad that all the praise that you gave Julius before is now kind of coming into fruition. But I see that as a T.J. Warren situation.
No, he a problem.
No, Julius Randle has been consistent.
Yeah,
I'll give him that. It's not nothing. It's not a flash in the pan.
No. They on an 8-game win streak, but they've been good all season. Like, they've been pretty good all season, but now they're really starting.
And
to
if the
click.
playoffs started tomorrow, they play the Hawks. Easy watch, second round matchup.
The Hawks are 5th seed, and they fired their coach. I guess they've been better since they fired him. But
to be fair, when we was talking shit about the Hawks, they really weren't that far out. Do you remember that?
I know. That's what I'm saying. They weren't.
They were like a game behind.
But I mean, they're playing better now, I guess.
Well, Trae Young just got hurt too.
Last 3.
I don't know.
It was a strain.
But,
that was the other injury.
Yeah.
This week. It was a sprain. I keep saying strain. That's what it was. A sprained calf and a sprained ankle.
I'm not gonna do it again. Anyway, all I'm gonna say is.
No!
Moving on, man. I think that's actually all we got for you today. Let's move into speaking of shouting. You said you know what you're doing. Whoa, back it up. What we got?
Petty Betty, bro.
Oh, hey.
You got Petty Betty this week?
Damn, how I forget about Petty Betty?
I don't know. That's your segment.
No, you know who's petty?
Who?
Kevin bitch ass Durant, man. This is what we gonna get into.
He's been Petty Betty last 4 weeks.
He MVP this year because he don't do shit. He ain't hooping. He hurt every week. So he might as well go be petty.
What did he do this week, man?
This was within the last week. He was doing a little interview with what's the name?
Oh, you want? This is gonna be my speaking of shout. This is not.
I'll let you have it.
No. This is not my speaking of shout. This was going to be.
Oh,
but it wasn't on KD.
It was petty.
No, it wasn't petty.
How the hell you forget to name?
He forgot.
You named Ibaka. Seriously, if you're Kevin Durant,
when the last time he played with Westbrook?
When the last time he played with Ibaka? Exactly. Shut up.
It wasn't even that serious.
But it took him a while to think about Ibaka as well. It's not like he just named 4 players.
He literally came back. It wasn't even 15 seconds before he was like, "Damn, I'm tripping. Get Ibaka ass out of there."
I just have a hard time. I believe this is why I say it's petty. I'm not mad at you.
I think it's petty to ask a question.
I think it's petty because I feel like Kevin is one of them people like.
No, that's not what this
Bro,
is.
there's no way you forgot Russ.
Bro, there is a way.
There's no way.
You forget whatever you want to forget.
The petty part of the petty part.
You're being a bullshit devil's advocate right now. There's no way you believe that. You're stirring the pot. You're doing what he did.
The petty part is asking the question.
That's petty.
That's not petty. That gets asked all the time.
It's a dumb question.
Job.
No,
and I knew I would get the soundbite.
It's a dumb. Exactly. All you're looking for is a soundbite. You want him to forget one of the 4 players.
So it's petty to be a journalist? I agree.
Yes. It's a petty question. It's a stupid question. You know there's a right and you ask questions like that when there's no wrong answer. There is a right or wrong answer to that question, and that's why he got the backlash.
It's a vein popping out the side of your head.
I'm up because this was gonna be my
speaking. It was worse than what Gil did. Can't get any more pettier than that.
This was gonna be my speaking of show because I just think it's a stupid question to ask, and then they made everybody. All the talk shows are going to eat it up. Shannon eating it up. Skip eating it up.
I feel like that was on
Stephen A. eating it up.
I don't feel like
it's like, of course they're going to eat it.
I don't feel like he genuinely forgot. I feel like he just thought, I know this is going to make them mad. They're going to be talking shit anyway. So I'm going to name Kyrie off rip, who I've only played a season with. And then 2 people that I won a championship with.
That's his teammate. Obviously going to name Kyrie.
He named James too.
Right. He going to name them. They're teammates currently.
Still. Kyrie, James.
I don't think it was intentional.
But listen to this. And we're talking about all-star guards you're playing with. These are your literally number 2 guys on every team you play with. So
he went from this year's team to last year's teammates to...
Shut up, because you don't even mean this. You don't care. Listen, you intentionally went...
I think it was
Kyrie, James, Steph, Clay.
And then he couldn't think about who he played on with the Thunder.
Oh yeah, Serge Ibaka, who was only a factor in the 2012 fucking finals and never did shit else while I was there. Yeah, Serge, that's
He
my
couldn't
top
think
five.
of anybody
No,
else.
bro, he did that on purpose.
Only
on.
That question.
I don't care because you're passionate and I don't care. I
That's
just thought it was
only,
funny.
it's only
I don't
a good
care.
question if
I don't
it's
care.
like cut, start, or start, cut, bench, where it's like there's no wrong answer. I can say start, cut, bench, Jordan, Magic, and LeBron, and you like, okay, you have your reason.
He did it on purpose, and I don't care. He did it on purpose.
It's stupid.
What's your speaking of shout?
There's
You want to
no-
go ahead and roll
there's
that?
no right or wrong answer.
Your heart's pumping a little hard. I see it coming through your sweatshirt. man.
Dumbass question. You looking for a soundbite. That's why it's dumb.
The king of dumbass questions didn't like that question. That's crazy. Yep. Only in America. What's your speaking of shouting, Josh?
First off,
I
don't be having no dumbass questions.
They got his blood pressure up.
I have questions.
He was mid-sip. He said, first of all.
I didn't even finish my damn sip. So we call them questions dumb. I am a journalist. No, just one. We call my questions dumb.
Okay.
It was a dumb question. You looking for a soundbite. You thirsty. And he got one. And then you was able to get promo for a show. But anyway, you want me to go first?
I want you to go first.
All right, I'm going to be, now you done made me forget about my speaking of Sheldon. I done had it all day. Speaking of Sheldon, I'll be speaking, so just watching, I feel like watching basketball, I think we have an issue. We do have an issue in the NBA. That issue is, like, me and Daria talked about it. We talked about, the offenses in the NBA, it's just very, I don't know, it's not very entertaining. Like, it's a copycat league. All professional leagues are copycat leagues. And the Warriors started something with the three-point shooting, and teams started to follow. But the thing about it is the Warriors were only leaders in three-point attempts for like 1 or 2 years in their reign. But since then, they've been like when they won championships with KD, they were like 15th or 16th in the league. But now all the other teams are just completely taking that and just like going crazy and shooting all these threes. So when I watch basketball now and you just sit and watch, it's like, bro, why do y'all take so many threes?
That's why my mom hates Golden State. Anytime Curry is getting his ass whooped, she loves it. She hates that they started.
Yeah, but
She hates watching like three. Like, do something.
If you
else.
actually sit down and watch basketball now, it's just like, bro, y'all just keep jacking up threes, and none of y'all are Steph Curry.
You about 2-3 years late to this argument. Charles Barkley been saying this shit since 2016.
Yeah, but I'm actually watching it now,
Yeah.
and I'm seeing it. And what Charles Barkley issue was that he didn't think that a 3-point shooting team could win. And
But then after that, he was talking about how everybody just want to chuck him. Houston, that's all they wanted to do.
Yeah, but
The Cavs,
but
they
my
started
thing is,
finding
it's not
shooters
really
so
the
they could
Warriors. It's not really the Warriors' fault. Yeah, they started it, but they have fucking Klay Thompson and Steph Curry on the team. None of these teams have that on the team.
You started it, laid the blueprint, and everybody's following, but it's not your fault.
No, it's not
You
your fault
started a
because you
proven
did it
system.
because you have the 2 greatest 3-point shooters of all time. What do you want them to do?
It's the neck vein.
It's throbbing. It's throbbing a little bit.
Hey, you. Mellow!
But that's my point. It's,
I mean,
it's not their fault.
I kind of see what
to
you're
a-
getting at,
to-
but
it's
it is
kinda their- it's a
their
copy-
fault. The
I don't
point
think
of
it's
it
their
is like
The point is,
it's like
it's
saying it's LeBron's fault that he is who he is, and then other teams are going to get quote unquote LeBrons to compete. No,
That's
these
not-
other
that's
teams
not LeBron's
are
fault.
literally just shooting.
They're letting Joe Smo shoot threes.
They didn't even run a play. He shot a 3.
They're letting Joe Smo.
Who are you?
My point is, the only
And why
reason
are
the
you doing
Warriors
this?
did it and made it work is because you have the 2 greatest anomalies at the 3-point line in the history of the game. ANO.
Don't do this.
M.
Why do you do this?
I don't know why I did that.
You could have just
Anomaly.
kept talking and ignoring him.
Because I would have said, shut up. I appreciate the effort.
Oh,
You're still doing
ANOMALY.
it. Wow.
Anomaly. I think. Probably not. But I tried.
No, go ahead.
That's the only reason they made it work. And so for you to have Nurkic shooting threes,
But you are late to this argument. You're only paying attention because in 2016 it was your team doing it and winning. You have a shitty team right now, so you have a lot of time to be upset.
When we had KD, we were 15. We were in the middle of the league of 3-point attempts. We weren't a 3-point shooting team.
Says the guy that said throw the whole team in the trash. You have time to pay attention to this now.
You can throw them away. Cause we still got Steph is jacking up threes, but Steph is the only player to ever make 20 plus games with 10 3-points. My point is, Warriors did it because they were successful at it because they had 2 anomalies in the entire NBA. Nobody was able to shoot threes the way Klay Thompson and Steph Curry have. So that's why they started it. They did it because it worked. None of the other teams that do it now have the 2 greatest 3-point shooters of all time, yet they're still doing it. And it's not a fun, it's not a fun play of basketball. It's fun when the Warriors do it because they actually make a high percentage of the threes. Even though the teams now shoot a lot of threes, and it's not fun because they don't be making it. But when you have Steph and Klay doing it, they're going to make a lot of them. That makes it fun to watch.
I get where you're coming from. If you have a player who's a shooter, and that's their role, let them play their role. I don't know what the hell these other people are doing.
That's my point.
You have a Trae Young, okay, let him do it.
Exactly.
You have a Dame, but you didn't pass the ball to Dame. You shot it yourself.
You got Jokic shooting up threes, and he's good, but he's not. These players aren't Steph and Klay. They're not Devin Booker. They're not Brad Beal. They're not. They are Nurkic. They are Michael Porter Jr. They are Kemba Walker.
Michael Porter got a strap.
He got a strap, but he's not.
Kemba Walker.
But that's also the point.
Kemba does not have a strap like Steph Curry or Dame or
He's called
Klay Thompson.
cardiac Kemba, so I think you should relax on that.
He's a mid-range. He's a mid-range killer.
Jokic does it, but why wouldn't he pass the ball to MPJ? You see what I'm saying?
Easy money.
I just couldn't think of a lot of players. That's all.
As a 7-footer, you're not stepping out here. You're probably waiting on me to drive or pass it. Easy
and
money.
I can do it.
Honestly, I feel like the more beautiful.
And I think he has a higher 3-point.
The most beautiful basketball for me is actually the mid-range. Think about all the mid-range players that we love. KD, Kyrie,
Melo,
the
OG one.
Kobe, Jordan is a mid-range killer.
Russ got the mid-range.
Iverson was a mid-range killer. T-Mac was a mid-range killer. Like, all our favorite players dominated in the mid-range. AD now, you got all the bigs that are mid-range killers. So I think for me
it's the lost art of basketball.
It's definitely the lost art of basketball, and it's also one of the better, more prettier aspects of basketball. Not just this jacking up.
It's also a low percentage shot, statistically.
It's not a low percentage shot. It's a low efficiency shot. It's a difference.
Speaking of shouting this week for me, short and simple, man. Shout out to my Wizards. They've been getting it out the mud lately. 6 games in a row. Russ been out here dogging these hoes left and right.
Bro. It pissed me off.
You know what?
Wiggins.
I love it.
Wiggins
what?
You hold that layup?
Wiggins what?
No, that should be your speaking of shouting.
No. Wiggins what? What did you say? Say
it
louder. Wiggins what? Say it one more time.
I understand what you trying to get at the fact that I said he's good.
Yeah, shut your dumb ass. He's horrible.
He hold the layup.
He hold the layup. He hold that little crossover jump shot. He's ass. Don't ever talk to me about
No,
he
had some
he's
points.
Ass. I don't want to hear it. He's
he
ass.
had like 8 points in that.
Why did you lose that game?
Man,
all right, man. I don't want to hear it. He's ass. Anyway, Wizards 6 in a row. They got like the easiest schedule from here on out for the rest of the year. For real.
They still not gonna make the playoffs.
What's your team gonna do? Oh, okay.
Oh, we
so
in the
anyway,
play in.
Exactly. You in the play in just like
y'all
us.
not even in the play in.
You're at the 9, we're at the 10, and our records are barely separate.
Yeah, you in the East.
Okay.
And they're not barely separate.
Literally like 4 games.
Right.
Games.
They're not barely.
Steph is dropping 50 a night to get his ass waxed. Shut up.
No, he's not. We won 7 of the last 10.
It's my speaking or shouting. Shouts out to the Wizards. Shouts out to Bradley Beal. Shouts out Big Russ, man. Everybody is slowly but surely this season. A lot of his haters are starting to go, you know what? I'm gonna shut the hell up. You got a point there. My man is leading the league in clutch field goal percentage, and this is not the first time, mind you. That's all I got to say. Shouts out Big Russ. Put some respect on it.
Speedy recovery to Denny Avdija, man. Hate to see that. I liked you. I think you're gonna be good.
That hurt. Get rid of Scott Brooks, and you can see what that kid can really do.
Speedy recovery to you. But yeah, shout out to the Wizards, man. I just be talking stuff to him because I know he like them, and I know they're not gonna make the playoffs. So
same as his team. It's all good.
Hey man, that's gonna wrap it up for the show, man. Please subscribe, like us, hit us up if you got any questions you want to let us know. You know, do all that good stuff. If you want to be on the show, hit us up as well. We ain't had a guest in a while.
Yeah, it's time for a guest. Let's call AP. Also, one last thing you need to remember if you don't remember nothing else. Mellow! Get us up out of here.